how do the unvaccinated regain their freedom to travel?
So, one of the things that Tammy and I talked quite a lot about, what we're going to do in Canada, what we're going to talk about as we toured, and not just in Canada. What would we concentrate on? And one of the things that really needs to be concentrated on in Canada at the moment is, all of us, we have to involve ourselves more on the civic front. You know, because things are shaky, and part of the reason they're shaky, you know, here's a question. Why are only the most insane people in charge of school boards? And the answer is, because all the sane people have abdicated their responsibility. So here's a rule. This is an iron rule. Every bit of civic responsibility abdicated will be taken up by tyrants and used against you. That is 100% certain. So, you know, you should ask yourself, and you can ask yourself tonight, like, you know, are you engaged in any civic activity whatsoever? Any club, any local organization, any church, any charity, God forbid, a political party? You might say, well, those damn politicians. It's like, well, fair enough. The field of politics, like entertainment, like the media, attracts a disproportionate number of narcissists, because narcissists go where the attention is, but that's not any reason to get cynical and say, well, you know, I'm too good for that. It's like, you're that good, are you? Well, congratulations to you, and it's probably not true, but if it is true, well, then we could use you, frankly. And so you might say, well, what could I do if I joined a political party? And the answer is, if you're halfway as competent and reliable and, you know, even partially hardworking, those organizations are so desperate for you, you can't even imagine it. If you joined a political party and started to actually show up and find out how you could be useful and listen to people, you'd move through the ranks so fast it would shock you. And, you know, you would be shocked, because partly what you'd find is those organizations are so understaffed and desperate, it's no bloody wonder they don't do a very good job. And that's definitely a shock to find out. And then you'd find out that, oh my God, now it's on me, and what the hell do I know? Because that's also a shock. But if you're concerned, you know, do something about it. And we have, the spirit of our institutions is viable. The spirit is viable. The manifestation is corrupting, but the spirit is viable. And so if we wanted to, all of us, if we decided it was important, we could take on the responsibility of our civic duty. There's enough people in this hall tonight to completely change the country. Like, if every single person in here, it's right, it's absolutely right. If every single one of you, and I'm not suggesting you do this because, you know, your lives are complex, and I don't know, maybe you're already up to here with obligations, but if every single one of you decided to flat out do your civic duty, the whole country would be a different place in 10 years. Because 5,000 people, that's a lot of people. And at the same time, it's not that many people, you know? So that's a good solution. So do it, get involved, you know? Take on a civic job that nobody really wants. School board membership's a good one, you know, it doesn't pay much, there's not much status. If you're seeking status, you could probably find it elsewhere, but it's necessary. And if you don't do it, someone narcissistic and crazy will. And as you can see, then you'll have 144 quadruple D trans shop teachers exposing their giant nipples to high school students. And you'll think, how did we get here? It's like, well, it's because you're sitting on your hands, boys and girls, and that's why. So